Hi, I'm Emily, and I have two babies, Miles and Owen, and this is my story. They were born in Los Angeles in a hospital in March of last year, and though they were born in a hospital, I wanted to have a home birth until I found out I was having two babies, and nobody said two babies was a good idea at home, so I decided, okay, that's fine. But my goal was natural childbirth, so I did the Bradley method, which I really, really loved, and I think anybody could benefit from. So I went into labor, I think it was labor, at about 3 in the morning. I wasn't really sure, and the Bradley method says, eat something, take a bath, go to the bathroom. So I did those things, and yeah, I was in labor. So I stayed at home until about 6 a.m. and they said if you feel like you need to push, you should probably go to the hospital. So I felt like I had to push when I was sitting on the toilet. So I went to the hospital. And I got to the hospital, and my water broke. And it was the bag of water falling out because I was already 6 centimeters dilated. Because though I had twins, I had them at 39 and a half weeks. So they were very big babies. They were so big. So we got to the hospital at 6 in the morning. We stayed in the hospital. The best thing about that was that I brought my ball. I brought this giant birth ball. It was really an exercise ball from Marshall's, $7.99. Best thing in the world. I took it with me, and I sat on it the whole time. And I'd roll over when they wanted to monitor the babies, and then I'd roll away. I let them put a het block in my hand so that they could get to me if I was an emergency, but otherwise, I just wanted them to leave me alone, and they really did. So I got to about 8 centimeters dilated from 6, and they made me get into the bed to check me, and I almost died. I was in transition, and my contractions were on top of each other, and I said, get me an epidural. So they bring in this small Asian man that looked like he was about 15, and he tells me that, all the risks and losing your life and all these things, and I said, give me 15 minutes, and I got back on my ball. Once I was on my ball, I think I was through transition because it was pretty much okay again. And the doctor came in, who I'd never met before because it was a Kaiser hospital, and you don't know who you're going to get. And he said, well, if you're not fully dilated by so-and-so o'clock, then by 10 o'clock, then I'm going to do something about this. So I looked at the clock and I said, all right, here we go. So we just kept, sitting on the ball and telling people to leave us alone. And 10 o'clock came, and the dude came in with his rubber glove, and he said, it's time for a check. And lo and behold, I was 10 centimeters. And I really wanted to squat, but they wouldn't let me. And that was the worst thing in the world. Because when I got in that bed, I couldn't feel my contractions anymore. And I was pushing for 3 hours with Owen, the first baby, and it was just awful. And my mom, who's a labor and delivery nurse, came, and she was there at the end. And she finally, said that ring of fire thing. And we made it happen. And I don't know if I tore, if they sliced me open or what, but it was not a fun thing. Eventually, the doctor felt like he put his fingers in my butt. And honestly, it was the best thing he could have done because I got that baby out. I swear, it was like, get out of me. And there he was. And they held him up, and I said, there's something wrong. And they looked at him, and they saw that he wasn't really breathing very well. So they took him away. And then I had to have another baby. So I pushed for about 15 minutes with Miles, and there he was, and they put him on my chest like in the movies, and I was like, and I looked at the pediatrician who was checking him out, and it's supposed to be this gorgeous moment, my baby, and blah blah, and I said, could you give me my glasses? I can't see him. And they gave me my glasses, and honestly, I felt like I'd been through a war, and it wasn't beautiful, and it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't euphoric, and I didn't have a freaking orgasm like everybody says. No. I almost died, and I had 2 babies, and I think it took me a year to fall in love with them, but I do. They're the most amazing babies in the whole world. And here they are. This was a long time.